Hey, I'm Abby, and today we're going to discuss the criminal justice system, what criminal justice is, the three components, the consensus model, and the conflict model. Alright, let's get started. So, criminal justice basically deals with the law of criminal procedure. The textbook defines it as the array of procedures and activities that has to do with the enforcement of law. Justice in criminal courts really reflects the American understanding of what is right and wrong. To dumb it down a little bit, criminal justice is basically this: the aspect of social justice, which is right or wrong and fairness, that has to do with violations of the law. That's pretty much what criminal justice is. To some, the criminal justice system seems biased or unfair, you could say. And I mean, sometimes it does appear that way, but the criminal justice system is supposed to be working for the good of the community and for the people. Criminal justice is supposed to be fair treatment for all parties involved, fairness in the law enforcement, and unbiased in courts and correctional institutions. The quality of America's criminal justice system is debatable right now because of the activities and the events that have happened recently and in years past. There's been a lot of controversy of whether the law is for you or it's against you pertaining to law enforcement specifically. But the criminal justice system works for the good of everyone. The textbook even states that the criminal justice system rarely ever pleases anyone, which is kind of shocking, but it's very true. The three major parts of the criminal justice system are the police, correctional agencies, and courts. The police are there to enforce the law and make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing, when they're supposed to be doing it, and make sure that, nothing bad is happening that is not gonna, or that is gonna put the community uneasy and just not safe. They're supposed to protect the communities and keep them away from violence and harm. They're supposed to reduce and prevent crime. Police are really a key aspect of a community. Every community has police officers. Every community needs police officers because there's no place on earth that is completely safe. You need police officers, and they are a key aspect of the criminal justice system. Correctional agencies such as jails and stuff like that, they're there to carry out the sentences. When someone goes to trial or they go to court and the judge sentences them to 5 years in prison or 4 years or whatever it may be, they go to a correctional agency, and this correctional agency is supposed to rehabilitate them and help them and, get their life back on track so that they can get back out into the community and start working again and be back with their families and all of that. The correction agencies also provide custody and supervision for the people who are in jail, make sure nothing happens and make sure that they stay on good terms so that they might be able to get out early. The courts hold trials, and they ensure that due process is going on, that everything is fair, and that the law is being withheld in all of the amendments in the Constitution are upheld. Courts also protect rights and freedom for the individuals that are involved and everyone else. The consensus model assumes that all components of the criminal justice system work together to achieve justice, which is not reality. The different components, the correctional agencies, the police, and the courts, don't always work together. They each have their individual goals, and they can't work together and it all come out to be alright. The consensus model is more of an envision rather than something that is likely to happen. I mean, although we would all like for the police, the courts, and the correctional agencies to all work together, because that would make a perfect world. But it just doesn't work like that. That's just how it has to be. The conflict model is exactly what it says, pretty much. It's conflict. This is the more realistic model because the conflict model, according to the textbook, is the components of the criminal justice system are going to focus on serving their own interests. The police, the courts, and the correctional agencies are in different places. They have different atmospheres. So, therefore, they're going to be working towards different goals. Hence, conflict model. The different components and levels of the criminal justice system are linked closely enough together to be called a system, even though they may not always work together to achieve a common goal. This puts the aspect in reality, but also no one wants to hear that everybody is not working together when it comes to criminal justice and the law. But that's just how it works. So now that we've discussed criminal justice, what it means, the criminal justice system, the three components, the conflict model, and the consensus model, I don't have much for you. Thanks for watching.